is there, especially if you're close to a city or anything. Good morning. We're doing a video.
Video movie.
Video movie?
Yes, we're doing it. You want to be in my movie?
Good luck.
Okay, take
Okay,
care.
bye-bye. Maybe we want to start again.
No, that was perfect.
That's good.
That was called a drive-by molesting
that was
here in
it.
Thailand.
That was it.
Good morning, Thailand. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you're doing great. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to sit down and meet up with my friend Art, who's been here and retired here in Thailand for about 2 years, and he traveled the world, guys. So I want to sit down with him and do a little Q&A and find out why he chose Thailand is his final destination for his retirement. So let's go meet up with Art, have some fun along the way. Let's go! We have a special guest on the channel. His name is Art. Now, Art's been here now for just under 2 years, and wanted to meet with him and talk a little coffee talk here in Thailand. So welcome, Art.
Thanks, James. Thanks for having me.
So what we're going to cover today, guys, is we're going to talk about retiring here in Thailand. The what's, where's, and why's, and why would you consider retiring here in Thailand? And so Art, I met him about 2 or 3 months ago, and he's been an inspiration to me. He's been a mentor to me, and he's been a source of valuable information on where to go, what to do, everything about retirement, and just kind of interview Art and share with you some ideas and some thoughts if you're considering moving to a foreign country for retirement. You may want to choose Thailand, and we're going to talk about why. So Art, welcome to Good Vibration Thailand. Thank you very much for taking your time to meet with us and talk to my audience about why you chose to retire here in Thailand.
Thank you very much, first, James, for having me. I really appreciate it. I'm very blessed. I've traveled most of this world, 37 different countries, different times, sometimes for work, sometimes for pleasure. And you get all these different cultures and all these different environments you go into. But some country somewhere grabs your heart. And
Right.
You always think about it, I always think about it. So the culture of Thailand just grabbed me. They have a Buddha religion, they have smiles. Their motto is land of smiles, and it's true.
Right.
Everybody smiles.
Other thing that you mentioned was the vibe here, right?
Yeah.
The smiles, the vibe.
Good vibrations.
Right, right. And one of the things that I've noticed in my 5 months being here is the crime is very low, and I can leave anything I want out and not have to worry about it. That's just me. You can leave your wallet, your cell phone, your laptop.
Motorcycle helmet on your bike.
Right. I mean, you can leave anything anywhere and not worry about it being stolen or taken. And that to me is amazing. And that's the
Peace of
culture.
mind. Yeah,
right?
It's part of the culture.
And that's a part of the Buddhism culture and the religion culture out here.
This is the Buddha religion, is to be good and do good. That's what it's really about. Be good and do good. Karma is your life.
Right.
If you do good, if you give rather than take, if you smile rather than have anger, if you cherish rather than regret, if you stay on the positive side of your world, even if you're poor, your life is always blessed. And so these people are blessed people. They're happy. So the peacefulness that you talk about, they don't have crime. They have some, and they get caught, and you'll never see them again.
Right.
Because the prison terms are pretty long, you know. So I did my research on medical. Medical became an important issue because I'm 73 years old and you want to make sure that you have health care sometime. I numbered 197 different countries. Thailand is number 5 in medical services, number 5.
What do you mean by that? Like,
So the rating of service and the cost and what you can get are built into this survey. And of 197 countries in this part of the world, Southeast Asia, different small countries and big countries, Thailand ranked number 5.
in what? Like
And
quality,
overall,
price?
money, service, everything that you would want in healthcare.
So best quality care.
Best quality care. So if you're under 70, insurance is cheap, inexpensive, and can cover a lot of things based on your preferences. If you're over 70, you can still get some insurance, but it doesn't cover you as well because of the risk of being over 70. So
Right.
I just chose to pay my own way. A doctor visit is less than $30. An X-ray is less than $40. You know, to have an X-ray done. To have a CAT scan is about $100. So all of these things are affordable because you don't have them done all the time. Medicine you can buy at any pharmacy for a fraction of the cost. Any medicine that I need from the States, I can buy here without going to see the doctor.
So one of the things that you chose Thailand was the best medical care that you could get as a retiree for your age.
For my
correct?
age. So
Right.
if you're in the 60 plus group,
Okay.
even if you're healthy, and I'm relatively healthy, I walk the beach every day. I mean,
Right.
I stay very exercised. We all age. So if you're going to retire someplace and stay, you have to think about as I age, what benefits do I get? And healthcare has to be one of your considerations.
Absolutely. Because one of the things that I've found in researching medical is it's rather inexpensive for the highest quality. I mean, we're talking about $150 to $200 a month for top-notch service here in Thailand. And so that's very impressive for retirees to be able to come here and know that their quality care is taken care of. Big check mark, because that's a big concern with retirees.
There are countries that have very inexpensive housing, but they're inland, they're someplace away from the beach, they're humid, hot, and no AC. Thailand offers you the comforts that you're used to in America for a fraction of the cost. I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house with a yard, plants, and a dog for about $400 US a month.
Wow.
And I'm 150 feet from the beach. Where are you going to live like that, any place in the world, and have access to this beautiful beach and only spend $400 a month? My electric to run 2 ACs in this temperature with this humidity is about $4,000 baht a month, which is roughly $120. So I can air condition my entire place and stay comfortable for
24/7.
24/7 for $120 a month. Water is less than $3 a month. So
Wow.
my utility expenses are nothing to live here. So the cost of living for housing was one of the primary benefits I chose Thailand. And you have choices here, which is really great. You have lots of choices. You live in a high rise, in a box, I call them, for the same amount of money, and you can see the ocean, but you walk in, you basically walk out. I mean,
Right.
you go 20 feet and you're on a patio and you don't have much room right or left.
So I live in a condo, and it's basically, I call it the 20-foot condo. I can go to the bathroom, go to the kitchen, go to my bedroom, 20 feet. But it's a luxurious condominium complex with a lot of amenities. So you have choices here.
Yeah.
If you enjoy that kind of living in a condo box that's pretty and has amazing features and amenities, then you can live here for roughly $400 and $500 a month. But if you're accustomed to a larger, living environment, then you can certainly choose a larger 2-bedroom home like you.
Yes, and I chose this because I wanted a dog. I started with a condo. I had a beautiful
Right.
condo in Yansabai, about a really good size, a really massive size, well decorated, but I felt like I was missing a dog. I wanted a dog in my life because I've always had one. So I adopted a Thai dog. I trained her. Her name is Cinnamon. I have a perfect little home environment. She likes to walk. We go to the beach together. We have a lot of fun. She travels with me. So I chose that type of lifestyle. But I have lots of friends who live in the condo who love their lifestyle. So it's totally up to you.
Another thing that I want to talk about, which is very interesting, is your visa. There is a cost associated to living here. You have to pay like rent, which is your visa.
Yeah, rent
and
for
that's how I consider it. Rent for your visa, because in the United States, you get the luxury of living there for nothing. You don't have to keep going for a 90-day process. And so what's been your experience, and what can you share with our audience on what kind of visas are available? What did you get, and how much is it? And you have to allocate that monthly expense, because how you look at it is it's about $1,200 a year for a visa, roughly. If you get a retirement visa, which I chose and I went down that route, it's about $1,200. You just have to calculate that on a monthly basis, right? And that's an ongoing expense. What's been your experience with a visa?
Well, my experience has been less money than that, so that's good.
Because you purchase like in bulk, right?
I do, yeah.
So there is this thing called a Thai Elite Visa where you can set it up for 10 years or 20 years, and you get a discount because you're buying in bulk. And if you extrapolate that on a monthly, yes, then it's less.
I do a retirement visa. It's called a zero retirement visa, and I renew it every year. Actually, it's about 15 months. I have a visa agent that I pay. I don't do anything, because there's people that do the work for you. Because
so you're going year to year.
I'm going year to year.
Renewing every year.
And when I renew, it's about 12,000 baht. Okay, which is about $300. $300 every year. So mine costs me for an agent $300, and then I pay her 1,000 baht every quarter, which is $30. So another, what's that? 4 times 120 bucks. I pay her to just do my 90-day reporting for me, so I don't have to worry about anything.
So what's your total cost for retirement cost per month?
Well, for the year, it's 500, less than 500. So for the month, it's about 30 bucks, 40 bucks a month.
So you're saying $700 a year, every year?
500, about 500 a year.
Okay.
Every year costs me to stay here. Now that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Okay. So
when you look at it that way, yes.
So if I divide that to my $40 a month, roughly, if I were to set the money aside, U.S. money, and I throw that on rent of $400, I throw that on the utilities of $120, and I throw in my food costs of about $200 a month. I start adding up. I'm still way less than $1,200 to live here. You have a requirement here, by the way, which is real important, is that every month you have to put in 65,000 baht into a bank account here from the U.S. That's your cost of living here. If you don't do that, you have an option of having $800,000 baht into the bank, sitting there, which is about 24,000 U.S., just sitting there. And that buys your time here. You have to show an income coming in, because they don't want people coming in that have nothing, and they have to start living on the streets or living off things, so they monitor how you pay. That's an easy thing to do. That's about 1,800 US if you put in the bank, and then you can take that and send part of it back to the States. You just have to have it coming in.
So for an example, if I was getting Social Security, I would just have it come from my bank to a Thai bank.
That's all.
And show that kind of income stream that's coming in as a requirement to live here without worry.
We have to show that we can afford to stay here, and that we can invest into the country. Remember, everything that we spend helps the Thai people. Every smile that we give makes someone happy.
Sure.
Every dollar, every 100 baht, which is $3 that we hand to a street person who's working hard, is a gift. It's a smile. It's something to show our appreciation for being here. We are guests in this country, and we have to respect the culture. You need to learn a little Thai. You need to be culturally responsible. You need to respect their religion. And you need to realize that you're here for retirement, which means you should be peaceful.
Right.
You shouldn't be an angry person. You shouldn't be drunk and fighting. You should be here for all the right reasons. And you don't have to work. I don't work at all, because I don't have to.
Correct.
But there are things I can do. I do volunteer work. I can teach English. I can do lots of volunteer stuff. So you can involve yourself as much as you want into.
So let's talk about food here in Thailand. So I've been here for 5 months, and I've eaten a lot of Thai food, right? So there's Western food and there's Thai food here. What are the costs associated to food, and what do you do for food on a daily?
Well, I buy food at the market, and I have a stove, and I cook. Actually, I make my own soups. I make a beans thing, and I stock it in my freezer. So I like to, that way if I'm staying home, it's a rainy day, I just unthaw something and heat it up. I go to Big C, the big market, and stock there. When I eat out, I'm not a spiced food eater. So I just ask for whatever I want. If I want Khao lao mu, which is kind of a vegetable soup with some pork in it. When I tell them, I just say no spice. They understand English. No spice. They go, okay. So they don't give you the spicy sauce. They give you the non-one. Everything here in Thai food is pretty healthy.
Because it's one of the things that I'm a book writer and an author on nutrition.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I talk about in my books is always try to look for food options that are single ingredient, whole, fresh foods.
Right.
And that's everywhere here because
That's
it's
full
just,
of it, yeah.
you got rice, you got chicken, you got vegetables. It's single ingredient foods. However, in the United States, it's highly processed. You got all these chemicals and preservatives and emulsifiers and stabilizers. So yeah, you can easily maintain health with the food options here.
Exactly.
Let's talk about cost because I did a video on the cost of buying, chopping and shopping and bringing it home and cooking it versus going out to a Thai market. And I couldn't find any justification to say that it's cheaper to buy, chop, and shop at home.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not.
And the last thing that I found was there is cleanup, right? Whereas when you go out, it's just like walk away.
The Thais will teach you here. You'll go to most Thai homes and you'll see no stove. You may see a hot plate.
Interesting.
Because they'll make tea or coffee. They eat, grab, and go home. They get the fresh vegetables every day. They get the fresh soups. They get the fresh fish, already cooked. They get everything that they want at these markets, and markets are everywhere. And they're inexpensive. You know, you can get for 100 baht, which is $3, you can get a whole meal here. You can get a meal of chicken and rice for 100 baht at one of these stores.
Right, so that's $3, $4 on average is what I spend for a meal.
Yeah, and
Right.
at breakfast I have coffee, and I'll buy some croissants at the market and have home, so I'll have a
Right.
croissant when I get home. Or have a yogurt. I have yogurt in my refrigerator, I'll just have a yogurt. For lunch I grab something very light, usually a chicken and rice or something, and then maybe a soup for dinner. So I might spend $10 US a day. Most days it's less, but let's say it's $10. That's going to be $300 a month for food, roughly. So add that to our budget.
Right, so $300 to $400 a month. A good budget would be $10 to $11 a day to eat well.
To eat
right?
well.
$10.
If you're a 3 meal a day eater and you like
Okay.
a good full plate. If you're
Okay.
like me, I probably
One meal,
spend
2
five.
meals,
I
right.
probably spend $5 a day because my energy comes from the sun. You know, it comes from somewhere else. It doesn't
You're a
come from my
solar
food.
powered
I'm a solar powered
individual.
guy.
Let's talk about the most important thing is companionship. Dating here in Thailand. A lot of retirees that are older will come here with the opportunity to date a younger girl, right?
Sure.
So what's been your experience here with the dating scene? And I see a lot of forays, a lot of retirement people walking around with these girls that are 20, 30 years younger than them. So what's been your experience here in Thailand?
Well, I have a lot of Farang friends, foreigner friends, who have young wives or young girls. Bar girls, some they met in bars, some they meet someplace else in town. And they're 70 and the girl's 30 or 25. My common sense tells me that girl's looking for retirement from him. You know, she's looking for a nice life, live well, because she didn't have to work and struggle, and they pay for the date, you know. You give a Thai girl 20, 30,000 baht a month to live with you, so your expenses go up. That's one way to develop a lifestyle here. Another way is just to meet someone nice and occasionally date, and it's not in the bar scene, that's not a working girl someplace else. Not that that's bad, I'm just saying it's a different way. The other way to enjoy your environment is to live alone and just hang around with people. Stay with yourself. If you want to be internal, stay with yourself and just get to know Farangs and Thai people that are nice and friendly. I go to lunch with a Thai girl, I have coffee with a Thai girl, but I'm not looking for that permanent relationship yet. We're a retiree in Indiana, Florida, Ohio, California, Washington, any place in the US, and I was going to try to live on my Social Security because I didn't save money.
Right.
You will die in America. I think this is important to say, that for about $1,200 US or more, you can live like a king or queen. So you can eat great food, you can have great friends, you can have a beach, you can have all the luxuries in life that you're accustomed to. You don't need a car, you don't need a motorbike. You get free the taxis, you got $3. Taxi ride any place you want to go. Any place you want to go in town. So you can go all around for practically nothing. So you can take a Social Security check of $12, $13, $14, $15, $1,800 and come here, still be an American citizen, still watch the news, still see what happens in your country, but you can live here on a fraction of the cost it costs in America. They have tons of clothes, inexpensive. You can buy a t-shirt for $3, for 100 baht. You can buy pants, shorts for 100 baht. $3. Where are you going to go into a department store in America and buy a nice t-shirt and a pair of shorts for $6? So you can buy things. So your money you're still under your 1,200 by a long shot. I found that when I put in my Social Security check, I can't spend all the money. So I keep it in the bank. It just piles up. And I live well. I mean, I'm not hurting for anything.
Right. No.
And I pay for my medical out of my own pocket. I pay for everything. I still have money left of my 65,000 baht that I put in. So if you're really serious about retirement someplace in the world outside of the U.S., you can shop a lot of countries. And there are benefits in other countries. A lot of people like the Philippines. A lot of people like Guam. A lot of people like different places. It's your choice. But in my opinion, in my travels, Thailand was my #1 choice for the reasons I mentioned: the housing, the cost of living, the medical care, the people, the culture, and the serenity. And if you can have all that in your retirement in a bucket, why wouldn't you come here? There's nothing better than being retired and have no stress. Most people in the U.S. who retire still have stress. Most people in other countries, high cost of living countries, have stress in retirement. Here, there is zero stress unless you create it. It doesn't exist.
I love that.
So the peacefulness and the serenity, the cost of living, the food, the housing, all of these are gifts of life that Thailand offers anybody, themselves here, and for us foreigners that come here. To embrace it is what's magic. Just
That's awesome.
Respect them.
So I think we covered all the topics. So guys, go ahead and comment on anything that you would like to learn about Thailand. If we missed anything, go ahead and put down in the comments, and certainly like and subscribe to the channel. If you like this type of content here, Good Vibration Thailand, thank you so much, Art. I really appreciate you taking the time here to kind of help our audience learn a little bit about why you chose to retire here to the land of smiles. And I like how you put it. You said peace and stress-free, right? Yeah. That is key with anything in life, especially after working so hard and retiring. So that's why you chose it. And thank you so much for your time. As they say, Kop Kun Ka Crap.
Close enough. Close enough.
Close enough. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.